their, their needs and everything, was voiced at the parliament. And as you can see, development has started coming into Banjul. They are on the roads, the major roads, they're on the, on the electrical cables, just to name a few.
I belong to a political party, and I know that the party stands for progress and development. So my being re-elected means going back to the assembly, supporting what's already in place, the good work of APRC.
I was born here, and I grew up here, understand? And still yet I am here. I have a good relationship with my people. It is my people that asked me to contest.
IEC officials observed that the process was slow at the opening of the polls in the morning, but we are optimistic things could change towards the afternoon. Haji Mustafa Kerriol was also in position to better explain the conduct as per guidelines of his office.
We have been conducting elections since 1996, and all our elections are transparent, very peaceful. And I'm sure this time too the same thing will happen.
Abdul Njai, Grts.
With the APRC candidates for Sarakunda East and West unopposed, 129 polling stations were provided for a vote population of 88,578. Our Modelamin Sise Chris the Kanifing municipality, and he reports, although logistics in terms of personnel and materials were adequate, turnout before and during the time he visited those polling stations were not very impressive.
A group of readily prepared polling staff and their materials made less busy than expected by a lamentable turnout. That has been the case in the KMC. The long queues seen during the presidential election were hard to come by, despite the fact that I targeted polling centers with the highest number of polling stations.
Turnout is very low. We have very small electors coming out here, but maybe before the evening we expect more.
Voting, however, went on smoothly in the constituencies of Bakau, Juswang and Sarakunda Central. In comparative terms, turnout in Juswang was slightly better.
Though since in the morning, the polling, the turnout is very poor, but we are trying hard to take things smoothly at the moment.
The voters are coming in thick and fast, and I think the voter turnout is good. And so far, we don't have any major incident. So far, we are doing fine. So far, so good.
The setup of stakeholders in the electoral process was also complete. Here at the Ibo Town Sanchaba polling station, we have a complete setup of all the various stakeholders in the electoral process. The security are here, the presiding officers, and the party agents. One of them, representing the independent candidate, is here. You are protecting the interests of your party here. Can you please tell us how pleased you are, or just your opinion on the electoral process here in Ibo Town Sanchaba?
Okay, well, everything is smooth and is free and fair as my opinion is concerned. I'm representing my candidate as independent candidate. So my name is Isfa Samba. So now the thing is, the turnout anyway is poor.
Everything is going right, but the turning out is slow. The turn of the people is slow.
At the back of Fajara police station, Vice President Ajay Dr. Aisat Njai said he cast her vote. The parliamentary election is one that she described as too important to avoid.
The elections are just as important as presidential. That's what I want to tell Gambians. I hope there will be no low turnout, because that's what I'm worried about. Because sometimes people say, oh, the president has been elected. That's all we were interested in. We are not interested in National Assembly elections or local government elections, as far as the president has been elected. But you have to elect everybody else. Your National Assembly member has a very important role to play.
Both the voters and polling staff were only making the ground fertile for the election of the candidates. 3 APRC and 3 independent threw their hat into the ring. I caught up with some of them.
I thank the electorates of Bakau. During my campaign period, they all supported me, and inshallah, hopefully, by the grace of Almighty Allah, I will win, because I have the confidence.
It's just going to be a continuation. If I'm elected into office, it's going to be a continuation
of the project.
Mr. Chairman, you decided not to run in the 2007 parliamentary election. However, in 2012, you decided that it was time for you to contest. What are your chances?
No, my chances, I have already won the election. I make it clear that we have been campaigning for the past 2 weeks, and we know that we have already won the elections, no matter how.
Having been contested against by an independent candidate, how sure are you that you're going to sweep the polls in the constituency, that you're going to win?
I'm going to win because, as I said, it's a process. You have to be someone that is consistent.
The Sarakunda Central seat is between APRC candidate Seni Jaiti and independent candidate Sir Omar Saho. With IEC having made provision for polling assistance to provide the first point of contact for voters, many easily found their right polling stations, avoiding what was a noticeable problem during the November polls. The voting is extended to 6 p.m. and counting will be on the spot. Modulamin Sise, Grts News.
Still in Thursday's National Assembly election, voting within the West Coast Region Administrative Area was also hitch-free. 3 National Assembly seats in that part of the country are up for grabs. Elsewhere in the Upper River region, the voting process there went on smoothly without incident. We'll bring you news reports on how things fared in those parts of the country in our subsequent bulletin. The committee that develops proposals and decides which bits should be allocated financial resources from the Global Fund and how those funds should be spent, or the Gambia Coordinating Committee, has elected and inaugurated. We have more on this report by Louis Mendy.
The purpose of Global Fund is to attract, manage and dispose additional resources through a new public-private partnership that will make a sustainable and significant contribution to the reduction of infections, illness and deaths, thereby mitigating the impact caused by HIV and AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria. The project thus recognizes that only through a country-driven, coordinated and multi-sectoral approach involving all relevant partners with additional resources will have a significant impact on the reduction of infections, illness and death from the 3 diseases. A need that prompted the election and inauguration of the Country Coordinating Committee mechanism with members from government institutions, private sector, NGOs, and people with the diseases.
This body's core function is to put up a proposal and submit to Global Fund for funding. Once that proposal is approved at the level of Global Fund, this body continues to oversee the performance of those grants. You go out to see how the grants are performing. You go out to make sure whether the beneficiaries are getting the required approved amounts that they're supposed to get. You go out to make sure the conditionalities in the grant, be it government responsibility or PR responsibility, to make sure they are all in place. So overall, the functions of the CCM is very immense, and it's coming from people, individuals who are committed, who in one way or the other have something to do with either the HIV/AIDS, TB, or the malaria.
The democratic process eventually crowned Maud Sek, the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Finance, as the chairman of the committee, and Madi Jobate, the program director of Tango, as the vice chair. The duo from henceforth will take a lead role in strengthening what they call the oversight role of the CCM, and also to coordinate subcommittees in a crusade that aims to coordinate and monitor the funding and implementation of programmers in the 3 diseases.
They should actually concentrate on strengthening the oversight role of the CCM, because the principal role of the CCM is oversight. Now that we have the dashboard, I think the chair should be very firm, put in place technical committee, another oversight committee, because most of the old members are now out. So I think your first issues to tackle is to actually put in place all these subcommittees, and of course strengthen the COI.
The responsibility is enormous. I have some experience in the area, and I'll bring that experience to bear in this Global Fund activities for the country, especially in the design of relevant projects that will impact the very lives of Gambians in this.
Established in 2002, Global Fund the Gambia is a $96 million accumulative approved funding intended to fight the 3 diseases. And as the new CCM
continues this fight, its ultimate target is to achieve high degree of success in the